Hi everybody. Part of this video will include me in the video, and part of it you won't see me for it. I thought some of you might just be missing all of this, so I wanted to include that so you could see me and hear me as well. I know you have a lot of questions moving forward about what's going to take place, and hopefully some of those questions will be answered in this presentation. If they're not, well, you can contact me, and I have more information about that later on in the video, so just stay tuned. So everything that I'm going to say in this presentation is what we know so far, and what we know right now. So everything that I'm saying here is true as of this moment, but the reality is any of it could change at any point in time. And so I hope to keep you updated on what those changes are. Now, at this point, HCPS is preparing to keep us on distance learning for the remainder of the school year. That doesn't mean we're going to stay on distance learning the remainder of the school year. They're just preparing in case we don't go back to school. That information about whether we go back or not will be made at the state level. And HCPS is just trying to be prepared for all possible outcomes. So it's reasonable that they've provided instruction for teachers of how to proceed from now until June. The information that's presented here is what I know right now. And there's still a lot of unknowns. Part of that is because the State Board of Education hasn't made decisions yet. Part of that's because they haven't been told by the governor what to do. Part of that's because they don't know what the next step should be. And therefore, HCPS can't make informed decisions without guidance from the state. Some of it is HCPS is working on coming up with a solution, but right now we don't know yet. All the information can change as soon as we hear differently from either someone else at HCPS or someone from the Board of Education for the Maryland State Board. So these are some of the questions that you might have that I'm going to try to answer. There are going to be some times where I'm going to pose I know you have questions here, I just don't know what those answers are. So just bear with me, and as always, I just ask that you trust me, because you know me, you know I'm going to make everything okay for you, and I'm going to make this as painless as possible. So how the curriculum is going to be delivered. The plan is that each Tuesday by noon, I will post a bulletin onto It's Learning. That bulletin will have all of the attachments for all the work that you'll be expected to do for my class by noon the following Monday. So the work that'll be posted there will be a week's worth of work. At the end of the list of work that you're set to complete, there will be a note, and inside that note will be an embedded Microsoft form. That form will have some questions that you need to answer. Think of this as like an exit pass. This is my way of seeing that you accomplished what I had set out for you to accomplish. This will be how you communicate to me that you've read what you were supposed to or completed what you were supposed to, because this is an informal assessment that you understood the material that was being presented. So to accommodate all the families in Harford County Public Schools and the fact that most families have multiple children attending Harford County Public Schools, HCPS Central Office decided to go to an asynchronous learning platform. So what this means is over the course of the week, you should be expected to complete the required assignments. For science, you'll have approximately 2 hours in the whole week to complete the work that I assign for you. The time you use to complete the assignment can be whenever you want, as long as you complete the work. Since you're completing the work whenever it's convenient to you, whether it's 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, it's asynchronous, which means it's not all happening at the same time. When one person's working on it, another person might be sleeping. This allows you the flexibility to work on your schedule and to allow for access to devices. For instance, if you have to share a device with your siblings, this way you don't have to do it at a specific time. You can do it at whatever time is convenient for you. This also means if you have to share a device with mom, no worries. When mom's done using it, then you can do your schoolwork. At this point, I'm sure you have a ton of great questions about grading. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of answers for you about how it's going to be graded. As of right now, grading for the fourth quarter will be on a pass-fail system, assuming that we stay out of school the rest of the school year. I mean, if we go back to school on April 24th, then this is all null and void. But what this pass-fail system means for GPA, I don't know. What this means for students that are already failing, if they pass this quarter, I don't know. How this is going to be reported to you, I don't know. But at this point, it's been communicated that it will be pass-fail. So for the most part, as long as you do what I ask you to do, whether it is right or wrong, you'll most likely pass. So just do the assignments and everything will be okay. So oftentimes when I post an assignment to It's Learning, it's a Word document that you might need to complete. But you might say, but Ms. Saxon, I don't have a printer, or I do have a printer, but I don't have any printer ink, and I can't be running to Office Depot. Don't you know we're on social isolation, borderline lockdown? I just want to remind you that part of what you're going to be turning into me is your answers to the exit pass, that form that will be at the end of the list of things to do for that week. So that piece will be completely electronic, and that'll be the piece that I'm going to use to help record that you completed the assignments. While working on documents that I provide for you, there's absolutely no need to print it. You can just open the document, type your answers right in, and then save the document to a safe place like your OneDrive. Or if that's a lot of work for you, you can take a picture of the document and then complete it on your phone. Or if you open it in Microsoft Word or whatever platform it is, there's a draw function, and so you can just handwrite it right on there, especially if you have a touch screen. But Ms. Saxon, I have questions about what you asked me to do. Well, that's an easy one. I can be reached every day by email, through Remind, or the It's Learning messaging feature. Once a week, I'm going to have a drop-in video conference meeting. It'll be on It's Learning. It'll be using Microsoft Teams. Wednesday from 12 to 3, I will be on that video conference call the whole time for all my biology kids. On Thursday from 12 to 3, I'll be on the video conference call for my anatomy and physiology kids. If you can't make those 12 to 3 time slots, but you do want to see me face to face and you do want to have a video conference call, just contact me either by email, Remind, or It's Learning messaging, and we'll be able to find a time that works for both of us. But if you pick 2 in the morning, I'm sorry, I'm asleep. But Ms. Saxon, you say we're going to have a meeting, a video conference call through Teams. I don't know how to use it. Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it. On It's Learning, there's a resource tab. And when you click that, you'll see that there's a folder that's been added called Quarter 4 Teams Meetings. In that folder, you're going to find video instructions on how to use it, and it was created by the HCPS Office of Instructional Technology. I walked through it. It's a piece of cake. There's a document with step-by-step instructions that I created. So I took screenshots of what was going on. So it's really easy for you to figure out, oh, this is what I should be seeing now. So I click here, that kind of thing. And there's going to be a note that inside the note will have a link for the Teams meeting. We're going to use the same link every time we meet. Whether you and I set up a personal meeting or we do the whole class meeting on either Wednesday or Thursday. But keep in mind, these opportunities are just that. They're opportunities. They're not requirements. None of these are required at all. I'd love to see you pop in and say, hey, Miss Saxon, I miss you. Or tell me about what's going on in your life. Or maybe you just want to talk to somebody who's not your annoying sister or mother. Because I know my kids want to talk to someone other than me right now. So it doesn't have to be about science when we talk on the video conference. It might just be for your own mental health. You need to have a conversation with someone that's not in your family. So I'm here for you if you need me. And if you're like, ugh, Miss Saxon's the worst. I can't believe she even put her video in this presentation. Like, I don't want to see her face. Then you don't have to after this. But Miss Saxon, I don't know how to use the technology. On the next few slides, I'm going to include some information that's going to be helpful with some of the technology. Please keep in mind that some of the technology we're going to be using is going to be new and some of it's going to be old that we've already used. The technology we've already used in class should be familiar, and if it's not, most of it's pretty user-friendly and pretty intuitive. The more you use it, which you're going to be using it for all your classes, the better you'll get at it. Then there's going to be some new stuff. Keep in mind, if I'm using it with you at home, it's because I think it's easy enough for you to be able to figure out. If it were too difficult or too cumbersome, I'd be like, meh, no, we're not going to use that. The new stuff is going to allow us to collaborate as a class, and that's going to help to minimize those feelings of being isolated and stuck with just your family. It's also going to give you some feedback that what you're learning and what you think you understand is what other people are understanding too. So it hopefully will provide reinforcement that you're on the right track, you're doing a great job, don't worry. But again, the big piece that ultimately is going to help me check that box of pass is going to be those forms at the end of each week's instruction. But Miss Saxon, at school, I just go to that one page when I open up an internet and everything I need is right there. How do I do that from home? I can't get to it all. Well, actually you can. The home page that you use at school is start.hcps.org, and you can access that splash page at home by going to start.hcps.org, and all the tiles that normally appear should appear. When logging into Office 365 and It's Learning, please know that your username is actually going to be your username at student.hcps.org. That's your school email. And then if you're on Hack, your username is just going to be your username, first name, last name. And then the only other thing you need is your password. Pretty simple, right? But Miss Saxon, I forgot my password, or my password expired. What do I do? Again, you're going to start at the start.hcps.org. You click the tile for Office 365, or you could type in the URL, which is portal.hcps.org, portal.hcps.org. Then you're going to be prompted to log on. Instead, you click the button that says Forgot Password. Then you enter in a new password. That password should be different from any password you've had in the last, I believe it's 180 days. Your password should contain an uppercase, lowercase, and a number. You can use symbols, but not all symbols are taken. If you need help with the password, just let me know. Okay guys, that's all I have for now. Stay tuned for more information. And again, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me, and I'm pretty responsive. You'll hear back from me within an hour or two, well, unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning, which typically I'm sleeping and ignoring you anyway. But you'll get a response when I wake up, so you might just have to wait a little bit. But you'll be fine. And just remember, we're all in this together. We're all going to get through this together. We're all going to come out on the other side, hopefully healthy and safe. Good luck, stay healthy, and make good decisions. Like, wash those hands, you filthy animals.